It's really starting to feel like spring. It's right around the corner. I can feel it. I'm just about ready to plant those tomatoes. Well, not really. So yeah, I've been cleaning out the shop. Look at all this wood. This is all wood that I'm just going to throw away. I've got some there and a whole bunch here. I threw away some, yesterday was trash day, so I got a lot thrown away then, but that's going to take me a while to get rid of all of that, plus this old rack here. Thought about putting an ad on Craigslist. I've done that before, but usually it just kind of becomes a mess because people start prowling through, picking out what they want, and just leaving kind of a mess all over the place, so I don't know. So I hope you football fans enjoyed the games last weekend, the conference championships. Those were pretty exciting to watch. The San Francisco-Atlanta game was really exciting. That was a nail-biter there. So yeah, San Francisco's going to the Super Bowl. That's kind of exciting because, well, actually two teams this year. The San Francisco Giants, the baseball team, won the World Series. So now we've got the other team going to the Super Bowl, which will be in 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's kind of funny because San Francisco is not really a huge sports town. I mean, you know, we like our sports, but we're not like, you know, Pittsburgh or Denver or Green Bay. You know, we just live for the sports. In San Francisco, it's more of like, yeah, okay, that's nice. But here we go. Hey, I like it. Had a lot of questions about the lumber rack and a lot of questions regarding other stuff, so let's get right to it. A lot of people were asking me how much plywood it takes to build one of these. It took me about 2.5 sheets of plywood, and thankfully Fabian over on Facebook made up a cutting diagram so that you can see exactly how to cut it up to make this. So thank you for that, and I've posted it on my website also so you can see it there. And I'd like to do that on my SketchUp plans when I start making those. So if anybody has a way to do that, I'm sure there's a script or something I could use to make a cutting list and the diagram. Actually, a list of all of the pieces would be nice too. So if you know how to do that in SketchUp, let me know. That would be very handy. I had a couple of people ask me about my outlets over here and if they're being blocked by having the lumber rack there. And actually, no, they're not, because, well, this side here is angled, and so if I push it back, I'll do this one-handed here, all the way to the wall, I've still got quite a bit of room here that I can reach in there and plug stuff in if I want to. Well, plus the rack itself is on wheels. I could get to them that way. And lastly, I don't really use these two outlets that often. When I put in the walls in this shop, I put an outlet on every other stud, so I would never be far from an outlet. I've got them, you know, starting all the way down there and across, and I even got one in here, and, well, you can see how they, they go all around the shop. And if you're ever going to set up a shop, do that, because that has proven really handy to have. I had two people ask me about this angle, and I have this piece is at a 5-degree angle, and why I did that at a 5-degree angle. And I guess the question is why 5-degree as opposed to some other angle, because the angle obviously is so that the sheet goods will lean back against it, and of course that's why I have the cleat on the bottom. But as far as making it a 5-degree angle, I just guessed. You know, when I was laying this out in SketchUp, I just kind of put that board and then I just leaned it against the other and saw, you know, what looked about right. And 10 degrees seemed like it was too much, so I just picked 5 degree. I think you could do it at any angle you want. The important thing there is if you're going to do that is what really helped was to put this shelf in first and then the bottom shelf, like I showed that in the video, then hook it up and then cut these two middle shelves to the size that you need to get them to fit in there, because if you cut all 4 shelves at the same time, I think it'd be hard to get those all the right size at that angle. A couple of people were asking me what am I doing with my loft area up there now that I've moved all of my sheet goods out of there. That's actually kind of interesting, and let me show you what's going on up there. Alright, so here I am up in my loft area. I'm standing on a ladder right now, and it's just a little overhang, you know, over my garage door here. You can tell that at one point years ago, I thought I was going to put in a ceiling up here, so I started to put in some drywall, and well, that was kind of ridiculous, so I stopped. But I did put the light up in there, so at least I can see a little bit better up here. Right now, I still have some 2x4s and other boards up here that, you know, are easy to get to. It's not like having to pull out any sheet goods that were up here. Those were really difficult. These are pretty easy. In fact, the 2x4s, oftentimes I can just take a broom handle or something and just kind of slide them out of there. But let me show you the interesting part. I'm going to step down onto my workbench right now and close my garage door a little bit. Okay, this is a cross beam. It's huge. It's a 2x6, I guess. It goes all the way across my entire shop. Well, if I don't even know if I can show, let me get back on the ladder, if I can show this to you, what's going on here, but all these years that I've been keeping all of this heavy lumber up here, it's sagging, and it's sagging a lot. This is coming down in the middle here. It's like 4 or 5 inches below these outside areas. So I don't know if that's important or not. Usually, you know, sagging beams are kind of important, I would think. And then it's also caused this middle one here that goes also all the way across my shop. This one is also sagging way down. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be working in here someday and the whole garage will just collapse in on me. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I could maybe shore this up by, I don't know, hooking a board from here on up to the top or something. But yeah, I don't think that was designed to hold all that weight of all the stuff that I was keeping up there for so long. A couple of random questions that I thought I would answer that I found kind of amusing. I had somebody asking me, actually there was a couple of people who were asking me about my TV and what it is that they see in the background. Sometimes they see that blue thing moving around. What that is it's a screensaver, because I like to listen to Sirius radio in my shop while I'm working in. Actually, I listen to, let me turn it on right now, let's see. Oh, it's got Bow Wow Wow. You remember Bow Wow Wow? I like to listen to First Wave. That's the 80s alternative, new wave, dance music and stuff. So that's what I like to listen to. Somebody commented on this little stand that they've seen next to my lumber rack and next to this workbench here. And this is actually just a little nightstand that I made for my son a long time ago. And this was actually interesting to do. This was all decoupage. You know, I posted a video on my website a while back of how to do this. I didn't make the video. It was a video of somebody else, and it kind of went through the whole process. But these were all theme park maps that were on here. My son collects maps to theme parks, and so we just decoupaged a whole bunch of them all over this, just a little stand that I made for him using just MDF, I think is what I used on it. But anyways, as with a lot of stuff, once they've lived out their useful life inside, they kind of work their way out to the shop. So I use it now, and I don't really know what to keep in it, so I'm not sure what I'll do with it, but I just like the maps on it. I thought it looked cool. By the way, this is the stuff you use for that. It's called Mod Podge, and it's just for decoupaging, and I think it's all it is white glue, like Elmer's school glue or something. It's just thinned down with water, but that's how you do the decoupage. Hey, look! The Pet Shop Boys are on now. You remember the Pet Shop Boys? Let's see. Domino dancing. Finally, I got a question from somebody who has obviously been watching my show for a long time, because they were asking me if I was watching the new season of American Idol, because I must have mentioned that in the past. And well, yeah, I always watch American Idol, and I am watching the new season. I don't really like it though. Nicki Minaj just kind of drives me crazy, and Mariah Carey is just so full of herself. I like the other guy, the country guy. I don't know what his name, Keith Urban. I don't really know who he is, but he seems like kind of a real guy. But yeah, I still watch American Idol. The other shows that I like to watch, if you want show recommendations, I really like TV. I'm not one of these people who says, oh, I never watch TV, because I like TV. But I watch on Tuesday nights, well, you know, we DVR it all anyway, but it was Raising Hope and New Girl. Those are two of my favorite shows. Raising Hope especially. It's by the same guy who made My Name is Earl. If you've ever seen that show, that's really funny to watch. But all those are available, you know, on if you have a Roku box and you have Netflix or Amazon or Hulu and all of that stuff. So There you go for you TV people there. No way, look what they're playing. Frank Zappa and Moon Unit, Valley Girl.